Mike, 29F, husband, 36M, hopes I have a C-section? Posting from a friend's account because my husband follows mine. I have been with my husband for a little over 10 years, married for 2. We weren't planning on having kids for a couple more years, but we had a slip up with our birth control and now I'm 11 weeks along with our first. The stress of this being an unplanned pregnancy is weighing heavy on us both right now, and I guess to alleviate the anxiety, my husband has been talking more and more about plans for the future and getting ready for the baby. During one of these conversations, he casually dropped that he hopes I get a C-section when delivering our child and wondered if it was something that happened often. I had no clue where he got this idea from or why he thought that was an appropriate thing to say, so I asked what he meant. He explained that he'd heard awful things about natural delivery, the pain and risks of tearing, etc., then added, completely serious, that he'd hate to have our sex life ruined if I ended up getting a tear or was looser after the birth. He said this last part semi-jokingly, but by that point, I was so angry. I couldn't stay calm or explain how fucking stupid what he said was, not even mentioning all the dangers of a C-section. I was repulsed he'd even bring up his own pleasure in the same sentence of something so serious for me, the baby, and our well-being. My husband says I'm overreacting and it was just a joke, but I don't know. Men who think women are looser after childbirth are objectively stupid. He sounds awful. He wants you to be cut open, have extra risk of dying now and in next pregnancies, extra pain and also his dick is tight? See, he had me in the first half. I've heard that people think C-section must be easier than labor. And then he brought up sex and has he made comments like that before? 26-year-old dating a teenager. Now married and pushing 40. Yeah, it all checks. Make the selfish sob watch a C-section video. What a jerk. You should have used your own account so he can see all the people calling him an idiot. Which he is. Honey, I still love your penis, even thought it shrank after getting me pregnant. I thought you'd return that sentiment, but I guess not. Let him know how utterly absurd he sounds. My 19F boyfriend, 22M, has a pirate ship bed and refuses to change it. Help? Yes, you read correctly. My 22-year-old boyfriend had a replica of the Black Pearl as his bed. We're both in college currently. I live in a dorm while my boyfriend has his own apartment. Out of respect for my roommate, I sleep over at my boyfriend's place instead of him sleeping in my bed since our dorm room isn't that big. I love the Black Pearl and think it's cute, but we need a real bed at this point. I asked him if we could think about getting a new bed, but he said it would ruin the aesthetic of the room. I even offered to chip in, but he declined. We're not big people, but a twin-size mattress does not work. My boyfriend is 6'3" and hangs off the mattress. That's my current situation at the moment. I'm headed over to the Black Pearl now. Wish me luck. I'm sorry, but the thought of doing it on the Black Pearl is hilarious. I really like that all of us have joined together to talk about how fucking awesome this pirate ship bed is. Because it really is awesome. I think you guys need a bigger Black Pearl bed. Honestly, if he's handy, offer to help him expand the size of the bed frame but keep the basic ship structure. It's doable if it's all wood. And would be a fun project. This guy sounds fun lol. Dude has a pirate bed and a girlfriend? What a guy. I'm 44 and married with 2 kids and I would love to have myself a pirate ship for bed. He sounds fun. Mike, 23F, BF, 23M, told me to starve myself. Advice please? My boyfriend told me to starve myself because I am overweight and unattractive. Compared to before, we have been dating for 4 years now. I recently got diagnosed with PCOS, hence the weight gain. Plus I have kidney stones coming out right now, so was advised against running. I can't afford the gym, so that's also not an option. So he insisted yesterday that I starve myself in order to lose my fat. I am 5'9" and 190 pounds. I don't know if I am overreacting by feeling so hurt by everything that he said. He even asked me today if I ate anything and I said no, to which he replied, very good. No one who truly loves you would say something like this. Removed by Reddit. You're underreacting. He should be your ex. There is caring about your partner's health and there is completely disregarding that and only caring about what your partner looks like. Your boyfriend belongs in one of these camps. This is abuse. Please reconsider this relationship. Your boyfriend has just done you a huge favor. He has shown you who he is. His love of you is conditional on your looks and weight. What happens if you get pregnant or become disabled? Don't marry this man. It's time to walk away. Being alone is better than being with someone who wants you to starve yourself. Your boyfriend is abusive. I would never tell my wife, even when we were just dating, to starve themselves. That is beyond out of touch. It's cruel. Get out if you can. Who knows what other suggestions he may have for you. Your boyfriend is an abusive, controlling cunt. You should leave him. I, 33F, haven't told my boyfriend, 40M, that I was an egg donor in the past. How'd I tell him? Basically what the title says. Years ago I was in a relationship with a guy the first thought I was going to marry, and we didn't want kids, so I decided to donate my eggs twice. It was a very painful and strange process that was incredibly rewarding. I don't know if I'd still make that decision, but I am so happy I helped 2 families. Now, I have been with my new boyfriend for a little over a year, and we are madly in love. He is the one. We live together and share everything together, we're best friends and are so open. Our relationship progressed really organically, and the topic never came up and genuinely did not cross my mind in the context of our relationship until recently. Now we are talking about the future, and though both leaning towards not wanting kids, are still kind of on the fence. Now that I've realized that I've kept this from him, even though not intentionally, I'm kind of plagued by anxiety that this will change the way he sees me. I am afraid that he won't trust me since technically I have kept something big from him. How do I tell him in a way that's honest and loving? Hey, as we are discussing kids, it occurred to me that I never told you I donated eggs years ago. It never crossed my mind until now, but now that it has, I thought you should know. If you want to ask me any questions about that now or later, I'm here for it. You didn't keep this from him if you weren't thinking about it. Don't burden yourself or mislead him with that mindset. Be open with him as things come up. Now this has come up, so be open and factual. I am afraid that he won't trust me since technically I have kept something big from him. How do I tell him in a way that's honest and loving? Egg, sperm donation is a potential deal breaker for some people for various reasons, e.g. ethics, closed versus open donation. Egg donation being illegal in lots of countries, hence, all you can do is sit him down now and be open about it. Who knows how he feels about it? This is why I always lead with the most controversial info about me first. That way if they didn't like it they could leave before getting really involved. Pull the band-aid off and just say it. Having said that, do you honestly think he will care? I know I wouldn't. I donated eggs, and 2 families have children because of me. I'm sorry I haven't told you yet, it hasn't come up organically, so I want to tell you now. How do you feel? And then give him space for his feelings before you tell him you're anxious. First, despite some of these comments, the fact you donated several years ago probably wouldn't be a deal breaker for the great majority of people. You too don't want kids. Great, you don't have kids. Someone else's kids have your genetic material. But you should tell him because DNA testing puts people in contact with genetic relatives. Emo, waiting a year into a relationship to disclose this is very reasonable and isn't hiding something. Getting married and waiting 10 years, then having him find out when your biological child knocks on your door. That's keeping something from him. Just curious, but what are you going to say to him if one of them does an ancestry-type DNA test and tracks you down?